You know, advertising agencies are having to reinvent themselves, as are many different institutions and industries. And the lady that's going to join us shortly here has been right at the forefront of that. Bozell here in Omaha, Nebraska is one of the leading ad agencies. We all know that. And they've moved into interactive and digital, just like everybody else has. But Robin Donovan has found a new way. And she's gotten some insight as to how to reposition this agency. And she's gone through some very interesting turmoil and some adversity, some obstacles involving strategic alliances. So please welcome this very creative lady, Robin Donovan from Bozell, ladies and gentlemen, right now. There you are. How are you?
Good morning, Lynn.
Great to see you. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
At this crazy location here at the Mastercraft, we've got a little sewer construction going on. Not the easiest place to find.
I think you were trying to lose me.
No, not at all.
I got here.
No, I'm thrilled to have you here, really. Well, tell us a little bit here about, obviously, we're all familiar with Bozell. We're not going to spend a lot of time on the background of that industry. How long have you been with Kim over there and the group at Bozell? How long has that been?
13 and a half years.
Has it been? You've been there that long, and you're a managing partner, are you not?
Yes, Kim and I own the Bozell together.
Okay.
Yeah, we own
terrific, outstanding. Well, tell us a little bit. I know that organizations in the ad business, so to speak, are always looking now for kind of ways to do something new and to think of some new hook or new way to come at the marketplace. And you came up with an idea there. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, and agencies have done that from the beginning of time because we have to stay cutting edge. That's what the clients expect.
Yeah, not just relevant, but cutting edge.
Cutting edge.
That's right.
Right. And we're always looking for opportunities that that have a synergy, but can maybe help our clients do some things that other agencies wouldn't be able to help.
Kind of a win-win thing.
Exactly.
And some way to kind of, emphasize your uniqueness, right?
Right, exactly.
Of course, yes.
So a few years ago, we got a client that was a publisher, Right Life, here in Omaha.
Great.
And we were very integrally involved with a lot of their work and a lot of the books that they were putting out.
Now, is this a self-publishing firm or a traditional agent?
It's collaborative publishing.
Collaborative publishing.
Yeah, so it's kind of a long story, but the bottom line is if you write a book, you're not paying to have it published.
Okay.
They are. So.
Okay, all right, very interesting. Another new business model.
Another new business
model.
model.
Right here on Rob Is Weekly. Yes, okay, well go ahead.
So as a former English teacher, I've always had this penchant for writing, and they don't really let me write much at Bozell.
They don't?
No. So I'm not a copywriter.
You need to throw your weight around a little bit, Robin.
I'm kind of stamped as a non-copywriter.
Okay.
So the more I worked with them, the more I realized that I did want to write a book. So I wrote one.
All right.
And they published it. And that was a lot of fun. But then I realized, okay, now that I've got this book, it has to be promoted. And I started doing some research on what was really out there, what authors that are kind of unknown, what do they have for websites, what do they have for book trailers, and it was kind of sad because they don't really have money.
And as you went through this chapter, this phase in your personal evolution, you came across a lady who was involved in the publishing business.
Yes.
And you really got along well, had good vibes.
Right.
She was a very creative person herself.
She was.
And you formed what, kind of like a strategic alliance or a joint venture or what?
She had approached us and said, I see what you're doing, I like it. I think I have another piece that I could add to it.
Okay.
And it was really the pre-publishing piece. I want to write a book, I don't know how to get started. She could help you get started. I've written a book, I don't know how to get a publisher. She could help you do that.
Okay, so that seems like a very viable, value-added service.
There was synergy to it. The interesting thing is, though, whenever we do a strategic alliance, we're always really careful because a creative enterprise like ours, it's like a family.
Yes.
And the culture is really first and foremost.
Yep.
So
there has to be a fit, obviously.
There has to be a fit. So we take it slowly and we sort of ease into it.
Sure.
And it's not easy to take two cultures and merge them together.
And let's just stop there and say, the way we do things, our own personal style, you may find somebody you have a great sync with and we share the same values, integrity, and quality, but the way we go about getting things done may in fact be conflictive, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's just one aspect of a strategic alliance.
Right.
Sorry to interrupt you. Keep going.
No, it's okay.
So how did that go then?
Well, not well.
All right, so share the lessons. What happened?
The whole thing just didn't mesh together.
Okay.
There was sort of a culture clash, and that happens periodically. And we take a look at it and we say, what has to happen? And we just really got to the point where it was like, maybe what we'll do is we'll we'll hire her as a vendor if we need her,
Okay.
but not really try to force making her fit into our culture.
Sure. That, I mean, that's understandable. There'd be a slight adjustment in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And I mean, we work with vendors all the time. We work with Wayne and Laurie on our big zombie campaign.
Right.
You know, so we don't have to make them part of our organization to have a good working relationship.
Now, do you think most vendors would like to be closer and woven into their clients' cultures, or are they more comfortable kind of being a little bit at a distance and so they can do their thing and let you do your thing? Or what are your thoughts about that?
We find that we're approached by people who are running a business successfully, and their clients are saying, great, I love that you did this for me, now can you do this? And they can't.
Okay.
So we get approached saying, I can't do this part of it, but I know you can.
Right.
And what I'd like is to have a permanent alliance so that we can, you know, make it seamless for the client.
Okay, so let me interject. So, another good reason to form an alliance, besides the fact that we just get along and we like each other, is to broaden our capacity, broaden our skill set. Instead of just saying, well, go talk to him, I happen to know him, and he'll handle that part. Really, we can absorb the business and then sub it out or somehow do a little revenue sharing with somebody else and kind of position ourselves as being cohesive. We're kind of one entity as we're serving that particular client or industry.
Exactly.
Is that right?
It's very important in our industry because really our industry is based on trust.
Yes.
I mean, we are the people who make something out of nothing.
That's right.
So we don't have cold storage facilities that you can tour. You have to tour our brains.
That's right.
It's not that easy.
That's right. And as we know, the magic has to precede the logic. That's right. Absolutely. Okay. So as we wrap this interview up, Robin, with Bozell here in Omaha, it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for coming, because I find it so interesting. Expansion strategies, whether they work or not, the lessons that are inherent in them are so important, especially as we have these Creighton business students here in the audience. You know, they're benefiting mega as a result of your sharing your insights. So forming a joint venture and a strategic alliance, bottom line, good idea or bad idea?
Everyone is different. You have to look at each one, you have to do your due diligence, and even once you've gone through all the due diligence and you think that it's a good fit, you don't know until they get on board. It's like a marriage. You know, you can live together for years and then get married and it's over. That's what a strategic alliance is like. So you just have to see.
And I would just add, because I am a veteran of a number of these alliances, you have to maintain the relationship. It sounds great when you first pen the venture, but you have to keep working with each other and know that there are going to be bumps in the road. It's not going to work out every single time in every little way, but there has to be a big picture perspective on the advisability of the venture. It's
absolutely.
It's a very interesting thing, and because we live in this virtual society where you can really partner with anybody anywhere on the web, this becomes a whole new possibility from a strategic point of view.
Absolutely, and I think the most important thing is, because you want to make it work, knowing it's not going to work and moving on.
Yeah, that's right. And not get hung up about it, because the next one may be gold. Thank you so much, Robin Donovan from Bozell. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a great show with Creighton in the audience. Thanks so much. I'm Lynn Hinderaker. Come see me again. Bye-bye.
Thank you.